Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram 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 Ram
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri
Hare
Advaita
Krishna, Hare
Gadadhara
Krishna,
Shri
Krishna
Sri
Krishna, Hare
Gaura
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna 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 Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram Rama Brahma
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama
Hare Krishna,
Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Ram Rama Brahma
Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Ram Rama Brahma
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Ram
Hare
Rama Brahma Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram Rama
Hare
Brahma Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma
Kingdom,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama
Hare
Brahma
Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama
Hare Hare Ram,
Brahma
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Ram
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Krishna
Brahma
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram
Hare Krishna,
Rama Brahma Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Ram Rama Brahma
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Brahma
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Rama
Hare
Brahma
Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram Rama Brahma Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Ram 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 Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Ram Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Rama, Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Ram Hare
Krishna,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi
Hare
Gaura
Krishna, Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Ram
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram Hare,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Hare, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Chaitanya
Krishna
Prabhu
Hare
Nityananda Shri Advaita
Ram Hare
Shri
Hare
Vasadi
Krishna Hare Krishna
Gaurabhaktavrinda
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prasad Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandava Pranam. So we'll start, Prabhu. Somebody will reach. Okay, we'll start. We'll start on time. Thank you, Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Master Deshatare Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Angam Langayate Girim Yatkrupata Mahamande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Pavitra Pavitra Va Sarva Vastam Gatopiva Yasmaret Pundarikaksham Sabahya Suchi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashanti Suraya Diviva Chaksharatam Tadviprasa Vipanyava Jagraham Samindati Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Bhagavad Gita, the slokas we can chant from BG 3 dot 4.3. Thank you for that. Amazing. Hmm. Yes. Yesterday we have chanted Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, that one. Evam Parampara Praptam Savayavayam. Arjuna is asking questions. Okay. I will chant once, Prabhu. You will chant once, okay? Complete 4 lines. Arjuna
Okay,
Uva
Hare Krishna.
Aparam Bhavato Janma Param Janma Vivaswata Katam Yetad Vijaniyam Tvamadau Proktavaniti. Yes. You chant 4 lines, Prabhu.
Arjuna Uvacha, Aparam Bhavato Janma, Param Janma, Vivasvatha, Katam Etat Vijaniyam, Tvam Adau Provokatvam iti.
Proktavaniti.
Tvam iti. Proktvam iti.
Yes. Read the meaning, Prabhu. You read them.
Translation and purpose by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai, Jai.
Arjuna said, the sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I understand that in the beginning you instructed these signs to him? How I
Hmm.
understand that in the beginning you instructed these signs to him? So nice.
Arjuna is asking. Huh?
Hare Krishna. Yes.
So, yeah, that's the thing. Sun God is be very long before senior by birth to you. He didn't understand until now. Krishna's
Mm,
position.
mm,
Krishna is way bigger than yours one. Way older
mm,
than
mm,
way
mm.
way older than
Vivaswan,
Surya
sun
Bhagavan.
god.
But see these questions also see Arjuna also Krishna only one way, right? So ఒక రకంగా ఆలోచిస్తే అర్జున ఆల్సో కృష్ణుడే కదా కృష్ణ
Yes.
నుంచే కదా కృష్ణుడే అడుగుతున్నాడు కృష్ణుడే క్వశ్చన్ ఆన్సర్ ఇస్తున్నాడు అనమాట
మన కోసం బ్రో, మన కోసం.
Okay, second sloka. Next one. Krishna is trying to answer from here. Text 5. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava charjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam veta parantapa. Chant Prabhu.
श्री भगवान उवाच बाहुने मे
विदितानि
बाहुने मे व्येतानि व्यतीतानि जन्म तव च अर्जुन तानि अहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्त परं तप।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी,
Chant.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
Chant.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी दंडवत प्रणामालु।
Yes, Siddhartha, please do it.
श्रीभगवानुवाच बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं వేద సర్వాణి నత్వం వేత్వ పరంతప. శ్రీల ప్రభుపాదుల వారి అనువాదము. దేవాది దేవుడు పలికెను, ఓ పరంతప, నీకును నాకును అనేకానేక జన్మలు గడిచినవి. అవన్నయ్యూ నాకు గుర్తుండును, కానీ నీకట్లు గుర్తుండవు. హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
Prabhu, read translation. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. The personality of Godhead said, many births both you and I have passed. చూడండి, ఇద్దరు చాలా లీలలు చేశారు. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. Word subdued of the enemy.
Chapadi, how can Krishna remembers everybody?
In Prabhu,
How Krishna is gonna remember all the lives? How? Through how? How can he remember our past life, present life, future life?
he is there in everyone's heart. He is okay. He know everything. He is supreme. He is the controller. He is the maintainer. He is the father. He is the seed giver.
Correct.
Hmm.
He is situated as a Paramatma. Simple, kada?
అంతే కదా.
Paramatma
Just
can
like
see. When he is situated as a Paramatma, he knows everything, right? Ante kada?
yes, yeah, he is sitting in as Paramatma.
See, when body leaves also, soul and Paramatma also there, right? ఎన్ని లైఫ్ టైంలో క్రాస్ చేసింది ఏంటిది కథ అంతా కృష్ణుడికే తెలుసు కదా. యాజ్ అ పరమాత్మ ఇస్ అ విట్నెసింగ్ భర్త భోక్త మహేశ్వర లైఫ్ టైమ్ ఆఫ్టర్ లైఫ్ టైమ్, లైఫ్ టైమ్ ఆఫ్టర్ లైఫ్ టైమ్. దట్స్ వే కృష్ణ నోస్. దట్స్ వే పరమాత్మ సర్వవ్యాప్తం అంటారు కదా. సర్వవ్యాప్తం, చరాచర, అను, విభు అన్ని. ఇంకో శ్లోకం చేద్దాం. ఇంకో శ్లోకం చేయండి మాత్రం తెలుగులో. ఫస్ట్ మీరు ఏం.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया।
అజోపి సన్న వ్యయాత్మ భూతానామీశ్వరోపి సన్ ప్రకృతిం స్వామధిష్టాయ సంభవామ్యాత్మ మాయయా. శీల ప్రభుపాదుల వారి భాష్యము. నేను పుట్టుకలేని వాడనైనను, నా దివ్యదేహం ఎన్నడూను నశింపనిదైనను, సకల జీవులకు ఈశ్వరుడనైనను నా ఆది దివ్య స్వరూపముతో నేను ప్రతి యుగములో అవతరిస్తుందును. హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభు.
సంభవామి ఆత్మమాయయ యదా యదా ఈ ధర్మస్య గ్లానిర్భవతి భారత. స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు అవి కూడా ఇక్కడే 4th chapter లోనే. అజోపి సన్ అవ్యయాత్మ, అవ్యయం. వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ అవ్యయం? నెవర్ డిటారియలైజ్. అది భూతానాం ఈశ్వరోపి సన్ ప్రకృతిం స్వాం అధిష్టాయ సంభవామ్యాత్మ మాయయా. రీడ్ ద మీనింగ్ ప్రభు.
Yes, Prabhu. Although I am unborn, by transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, by my internal energy I am still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form.
కృష్ణుని ఇష్టం కదా, ఎన్ని సంవత్సరాలు ఉండాలి, ఎంతవరకు ఉండాలి, కృష్ణుని ఇష్టం కదా ఇప్పుడు 125 years అంటాం కదా కురుక్షేత్ర వార్ టైంలో హౌ కృష్ణ హౌ ఓల్డ్ 125-year-old అని చెప్తారు బట్ స్టిల్ ఈజ్ లుకింగ్ లైక్ 16-year-old బాయ్ ఈజ్ ఆన్ ద స్పిరిచువల్ బాడీ ఓన్లీ నాట్ లైక్ జస్ట్ లైక్ అస్ మెటీరియల్ బాడీ దట్స్ ఇట్ సో దట్స్ వేర్ ఆయన మర్జీ ఇప్పుడు మనకి హిందీలో ఉంటుంది కదా ప్రభు ఉన్కా మర్జీ యార్ కృష్ణాస్ మర్జీ కృష్ణాస్ ఇష్టం వాట్ ఎవర్ he wants ఈ జస్ట్ లైక్ ప్లేయింగ్ ప్రభు జగన్నాథ నాటక సూత్రధారి విరాట్ డాల్స్ డాల్ లాగా చేసి ఆడుకుంటాడు అనమాట అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఈ లైక్స్ డివోటీస్ మచ్ బికాస్ మిగతా వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా నాటకాల పాత్రలే డిఫరెంట్ పాత్రలు యా సో దట్స్ వేర్ కృష్ణ ఈజ్ ఆల్ అబౌట్ టెక్స్ట్ 7 వన్ లాస్ట్ వన్ యా సి 7 and 8 యదా ఇవి రెండు చేద్దాం చలో ఇదే నెక్స్ట్ టెక్స్ట్ 7 తెలుగు చేయండి మాతాజీ హరిబోల్
యదా యదా హి ధర్మస్య గ్లానిర్భవతి భారత అభ్యుత్థానమధర్మస్య తదాత్మానం సృజామ్యహం
యదా యదా హి ధర్మస్య గ్లానిర్భవతి భారత అభ్యుత్థానమధర్మస్య తదాత్మానం సృజామ్యహం శ్రీల ప్రభుపాదుల వారి అనువాదము ఓ భరతవంశీయుడా ఎప్పుడు మరియు ఎక్కడెక్కడ ధర్మాచరణకు హాని కలుగుచుండునో మరియు అధర్మము వృద్ధి చెందుచుండునో ఆ సమయమున నేను స్వయముగా అవతరింతును. హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ. థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ. యదా యదా హి ధర్మస్య గ్లానిర్భవతి భారత అభ్యుత్థానమధర్మస్య
ఇది లాస్ట్ టైం కదా
తదాత్మానం సృజామ్యహం. whenever and wherever there is చేయండి whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice or descendant of Bharata and a predominant rise of a religion, at that time I descend myself. Dharma rakshana, sista rakshana, dusta sikshana, sista rakshana, dharma samsthapana. ఇంత బాగుంది తెలుగు లాంగ్వేజ్ మస్తు కదా బ్రో. దుష్ట శిక్షణ నానా శిష్ట రక్షణ అండ్ ధర్మ సంస్థాపన. నెక్స్ట్ వస్తుంది ఓకే. పరిత్రాణాయ సాధూనాం వినాశాయ చ దుష్కృతం ధర్మ సంస్థాపనార్థాయ సంభవామి యుగే యుగే. చేయండి మీరు ఇద్దరు హస్బెండ్ అండ్ వైఫ్ కలిసి చేయండి. ఇది అందరూ కలిసి
పరిత్రాణాయ సాధూనాం వినాశాయ చ దుష్కృతాం ధర్మ సంస్థాపనార్థాయ సంభవామి యుగే యుగే.
శ్రీల ప్రభుపాదుల వారి అనువాదము. సాధువులకు ఉద్ధరించుట కొరకు, దుర్మార్గులను నశింపజేయుట కొరకు మరియు ధర్మమును పునఃస్థాపించుట కొరకు ప్రతి యుగమున నేనే స్వయముగా అవతరిస్తుందును. హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. So Krishna is always there. Okay. 9-10 కూడా చదివితే ఈ సెక్షన్ అయిపోతుంది. ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ నాలెడ్జ్ కదా, we will do 9-10 ఆల్సో. నేను ఒకసారి చేస్తా 4 lines. ప్రసాద్ మీరు చేయండి, నేను మాతాది అంటే మా ప్రభు కలిసి చేస్తారు. ఓకే, లెట్ us do. జన్మ కర్మ చ మే దివ్యం ఏవం యో వేత్తి తత్వతః త్యక్త్వా దేహం పునర్జన్మ నైతి మామేతి సో అర్జున. యు చాంట్ ప్రభు, ప్రసాద్ ప్రభు.
ఓకే ప్రభు. జన్మ కర్మ చ మే దివ్యం ఏవం యో వేత్తి తత్వతః త్యక్త్వా దేహం పునర్జన్మ నాతి మాం ఏతి సో అర్జున.
కలిసి చేయండి.
జన్మ కర్మ చ మే దివ్యం ఏవం యో వేత్తి తత్వతః త్యక్త్వా దేహం పునర్జన్మ నైతి మామేతి సో అర్జున.
శ్రీల ప్రభుపాదుల వారి అనువాదము. ఓ అర్జున, నా జన్మము మరియు కర్మల దివ్యత్వమును యథార్థముగా ఎదిగిన వాడు దేహమును విడిచిన పిమ్మట తిరిగి ఈ భౌతిక జగత్తున జన్మింపక నా శాశ్వత ధామమున నన్నే పొందును. హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ. వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ శ్లోక. రీడ్ ద మీనింగ్ ప్రభు, ప్రసాద్ ప్రభు.
Yes, Prabhu. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna.
He doesn't
అంటే
want to
one
take. Yeah,
transcendental
చెప్పండి.
nature of my appearance and activities does not. Upon leaving the body, takes his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. O
సో అది
Arjuna.
ఒకసారి తెలుగు చదవండి మాతది మళ్ళీ. తెలుగు చదవండి మాతది. హరే కృష్ణ.
నెక్స్ట్ శ్లోకం ప్రభుజీ.
కాదు ఇదే తెలుగు మీనింగ్ ఒకసారి చదవండి.
తెలుగు మీనింగ్ అది
యాది
జన్మకర్మ
ఓ అర్జున, నా జన్మము మరియు కర్మల దివ్యత్వమును యథార్థముగా ఎరిగిన వాడు దేహంను విడిచిన పిమ్మట తిరిగి ఈ భౌతిక జగత్తున జన్మింపక నా శాశ్వత ధామమున నన్నే పొందును. హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
అంటే వెన్ వి అండర్స్టాండ్ కృష్ణస్ అపియరెన్స్ అండ్ హిస్ యాక్టివిటీస్, దిస్ ఇస్ థింగ్. భగవద్గీత భాగవతం మనం రెగ్యులర్ గా చదివితే హిస్ అపియరెన్స్ గురించి తెలుస్తుంది, హిస్ యాక్టివిటీస్ గురించి తెలుస్తుంది. సో నో వరీ అబౌట్ నెక్స్ట్ లైఫ్. నెక్స్ట్ లైఫ్ ఈస్ కృష్ణ విల్ టేక్ కేర్. గోయింగ్ back to get guarantee upon leaving this body, because we are regularly doing our sadhana bhakti. We are regularly reading, hearing, understanding, chanting, seva, different services. Yeah, so this is all about Krishna conscious life. So when we do this, even though we situate in the material world, but we understand Krishna's position, his activities, then Krishna jai భూలోకం టు గోలోకం వెళ్దామా. టెక్స్ట్
ఇదొక శ్లోకం చాలు ప్రభుజీ.
అంతే. యా, ఇది 4 lines చేస్తా. ప్రసాద్ మీరు అండి, తర్వాత ప్రభు జన్మాత చేస్తారు. ఓకే. వీతరాగా భయక్రోధ మన్మయా మాముపాశ్రిత బాహవో జ్ఞాన తపసా పూతమద్భావమాగత. వండర్ఫుల్. చేయండి ప్రసాద్ ప్రభు. ఇద్దరు డివోటీలు జాయిన్ అయ్యారు. లెట్ మీ సీ హూ ఆర్ దే. చంద్రమౌళి ప్రభు. ఓకే.
చంద్రమౌళి ప్రభు చేయండి ప్రభు. శ్రీహరి ప్రభు కూడా జాయిన్ అయ్యారు.
అదే
చేస్తారా ప్రభు?
శ్లోకం రిసైట్ చేయాలా ప్రభుజీ?
అంతే.
రిసైట్ చేయాలి.
వీటరాగ భయ క్రోధ మన్మయా మాం ఉపాశ్రితః బహవో జ్ఞాన తపసా భూతా మద్భావం ఆగతః.
రీడ్ ద మీనింగ్.
వీతరాగ భయ క్రోధ చేస్తున్నారు ప్రభుజీ.
మీరే చేయండి. మీరు చేసి తెలుగులో చదవండి, తర్వాత ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ లో.
వీతరాగ భయ క్రోధ మన్మయా మాముపాశ్రితాః బహవో జ్ఞాన తపసా భూతమద్భావమాగతాః.
శ్రీల ప్రభుపాదుల వారి అనువాదము. రాగము, భయము, క్రోధము నుండి విడివడి నాయందే సంపూర్ణముగా మగ్నులై నన్ను శరణు వేడినందున పూర్వము పలువురు వ్యక్తులు నన్ను గూర్చిన జ్ఞాన తపస్సులచే పవిత్రులై నా పట్ల దివ్య ప్రేమను పొందగలిగిరి. హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ మాతాజీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. ఇంగ్లీష్ లో రీడింగ్ ఏంటి?
Being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. Hare Krishna.
Four things. Free from attachment, materialistic way of attachment. Okay. Attachment in the form of different things, family, wife, children, apartments, ఆస్తులు పాస్తులు. too much materialistic entanglement ప్రహ్లాద్ మహారాజ్ చెప్తారు కదా. ఎస్, sequential entanglement. Free from this. Free from means using everything. Again, our parampara system, especially Brahma Mata Gaudiya Vaishnava, naturally tells that everything using for Krishna service. Okay. Yeah. Fear and anger. Devotees fearlessness. Away from fear. Devotees are nice, happy, peaceful, fully absorbed in me. Absorption. Very important absorption word. Absorb in Krishna conscious activities. What happens? They attain loving service to me. That's it. When we get this taste, when we situated in attaining transcendental loving service, means our life becomes successful. No more entanglement. Entangle to untangle. That's where. How to untangle? Free from attachment, fear, anger, completely fully absorbed in Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. ఈ సెక్షన్ అయిపోయింది, ట్రాన్స్జెండల్ నాలెడ్జ్ అని మనం ఆ రోజు చూసినాం కదా. ఇక్కడ పిన్ కూడా వేసిన యాక్చువల్లీ. I just pinned also. Let me click this. Here 4.1 to 4.10 transcendental knowledge about Krishna. So what it has described, transcendental knowledge about Krishna should be received by disciplic succession, evam parampara praptam. This reveals the truth about Krishna's form, his birth and his activities. Janma karma cha me divyam. Even though which we situated in the material world, if we understand Krishna's janma karma cha me divyam, Krishna's body, Krishna's activities, Krishna's janma is divyam. When we understand, that's it. Does not take birth again in this material world. Knowing these truths, one who takes shelter of Krishna becomes purified and attains Krishna. So tomorrow we'll start this one, applying transcendental knowledge, 4.11 to 4.15. Okay, we'll do tomorrow. Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So we'll start with Srimad Bhagavatam, where we yesterday, let me read the log. Okay, this one we'll continue from 28th sloka. Okay, before that let us chant some slokas from glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so I'm sharing here. Where is this? Yeah, if possible, everybody let us chant together. Okay, and look at the screen and chant together. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam. Together. Devim Saraswatim
देवी
Vyasam
सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो
Tato
जयमुदीरये
Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu
नष्टप्रायेषु
Bhadreshu
भद्रेषु
Nityam
नित्यं
Bhagavad
भागवत
Sevaya
सेवया
Bhagavati
भगवति
Uttama Sloke
उत्तमश्लोके
Bhaktirbhavati
भक्तिर्भवति
Naistiki
नैष्टिकी
Krishne Sadhamo
कृष्णे
Pakate Dharma
कृष्णसुधामो
Jnanadipi Saha Kalau Nastadrisham Esha Puranarkodhanoditaha. We need some practice here, it's okay. Krishnaya Vasudevaya
देवाय देवकी
Nandaya cha
नन्दनाय च
Nandagopakumaraya
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
Govindaya Namo Namaha
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः
Nama
नमः
Pankajanaಭಾಯ
पङ्कजनाभाय नमः
Pankajamaline
पङ्कजमालिने नमः
Nama
पङ्कजनेत्राय
Pankajanetraya
नमस्ते
Namaste Pankajangri.
पङ्कजाङ्ग्र्ये
Very good. ఇంకొక 4-7 స్పెషల్ ప్రేయర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, విల్ డూ. శృణ్వతాం స్వాగత కృష్ణ పుణ్యశ్రవణ కీర్తన హృదయంత్యస్త్యో హ్యభద్రాని విదునోతి సుహృత్సుతాం. తదా రజస్తమో భావా కామలోభాదయశ్చే చేతయేతర్ అనావిద్దం స్థితం సత్వే ప్రసీదతి. ఏవం ప్రసన్న మనసో భగవద్భక్తియోగత భగవత్తత్వ విజ్ఞానం యుక్తసంగస్య జాయతే. भिद्यते हृदयग्रन्थेश्चिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयाः क्ष्यन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम
हरे
राम
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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे हरे. So we are here, text 28. So what is that? 28 sections here. Text 28 here in this section. Prayers of Prutu Maharaja. We are in between. 28 onwards we are going to read today. So let me read these sections and once and then we'll go. 23 sloka talks about benedictions like liberation or birthless. Give me millions of years to hear your glories. Years to hear your glories from devotees that restores one relationship with you. Only an animal gives up such hearing. 27, 28. I desire to serve your Lord's feet. If Lakshmi is angry, you will take my side. 29. All great devotees serve you. 30, 31. Vedic allurements are bewildering. Kindly bestow whatever you think is best for me. Yeah. See, the last section also very important. 32 to 38, the Lord leaves after offering his benediction. He was asking, what is the best? Prutu Maharaj is asking, what is the best for me in 31st sloka? And this 32 to 38 section is ending, and Lord, Supreme Lord is going to give the benediction with some instruction, I think. So we'll continue with it. Okay. Who wants to read first? Please continue.
I'll read.
Hare Krishna.
Read Prabhu Raju Prabhu. Okay.
Okay. Translation. by His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord of Universe, the Goddess of Fortune, Lakshmi, is the Mother of Universe. And yet I think that she may be angry with me because of my in- intruding upon her service and acting on that very platform to which she is so much attached. Yet I am hopeful that even though there is some misunderstanding, you will take my part, for you are very much inclined to the poor, and you always magnify even insignificant service unto you. Therefore, even though she becomes angry, I think that there is there is no harm for you, because you are so self-sufficient that you can do without her. Hmm. Purport.
Purport. Yes, Prabhu.
Koncham Mother Lakshmi ji, the goddess of fortune, is well known for always massaging the lotus feet of Lord Narayana. She is an ideal wife because she takes care of Lord Narayana in every detail. She takes care not only of his lotus feet but also household affairs of the Lord as well. She cooks nice food for him.
Oh, 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 oh.
One second.
Yeah.
Nice food for him. Fans him while he eats. Smoothest sandalwood pulp on his face, and sets his bed and the sitting places in the right order. In this way, she always engaged in the service of the Lord, and there is hardly any opportunity for any other devotee to intrude upon his daily activities. Maharaja therefore
Yes, Prabhu.
was therefore almost certain that his instruction into the service of the goddess of fortune would irritate her and cause her to become angry with him. But why should Mother Lakshmi, the mother of the universe, be angry with an insignificant devotee like the Maharaja? Hmm. Yes, all. Once again,
Yes, yes. Yeah.
yeah. All that was not very likely. Yet Puthu Maharaja, just for his personal protection, appeared to the Lord to take his part. The Maharaja was engaged in performing the ordinary Vedic rituals. The Maharaja was engaged in performing the ordinary Vedic rituals and sacrifices according to karma kanda or punitive activities. But the Lord, being so kind and magnanimous, was ready to award Puthu Maharaja the highest perfectional stage of life, namely devotional service. When a person performs Vedic rituals and sacrifices, he does so to elevate himself to the heavenly planets. When a person performs a Vedic rituals and sacrifices, he does so to elevate himself to the heavenly planet center. No one can become qualified to go back home, back to Godhead, by means of such sacrifices. But Lord is so kind that He accepts a little insignificant service, and therefore it is stated in the Vishnu Purana that the following principle of Varnashrama Dharma, following the principles of Varnashrama Dharma, one can satisfy the Supreme Lord. When the Lord is satisfied, the performer of sacrifices is elevated to the platform of devotional service. Puthu Maharaja therefore expected that his insignificant service to the Lord would be accepted by him as being greater than that of Lakshmi ji. The goddess of fortune is called Chinchala, that is restless, because she is very restless and always coming and going. So Puthu Maharaja indicated that even though she might go away out of anger, there would be no harm for Lord Vishnu, because he is self-sufficient and can do anything and everything without the help of Lakshmi ji. For example, when Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu begot Lord Brahma from his navel, he did not take any help from Lakshmi, who was just sitting by him and massaging his lotus feet. Generally, if a son is to be begotten, the husband impregnates the wife, and in due course of time, the son is born. But in this case, Lord Brahma's birth, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, did not impregnate Lakshmiji. Being self-sufficient, the Lord begot Brahma from his own navel. Therefore, Uddha Maharaja was confident that even if a goddess of fortune became angry with him, there would be no harm. Neither the Lord, there would be no harm, neither to the Lord or nor to him. Hare Krishna.
This is important. Therefore, Rutumaraja was confident that even if the goddess of fortune became angry with him, therefore there would be no harm, neither to the Lord nor to himself. What he is saying, he is asking in this one, no? It is. My dear Lord of the universe, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi is the mother of the universe, yet I think that she may be angry with me because of my intruding upon her service. He is asking, right? Serving at the lotus feet of Supreme, right? I want to serve at the lotus feet. And acting on that very platform to which she is so much attached. Yet I am hopeful that even though there is some misunderstanding, you will take my part, for you are very much inclined to the poor. You always magnify even insignificant. Language, Prabhu. Language. You always magnify even insignificant service unto you. Therefore, even though she becomes angry, I think that there is no harm for you. Because you are so self-sufficient, he can do without her. Given opportunity to do. Yeah. Atma Rama, self-sufficient Atma Rama. Krishna is Atma Rama. He doesn't want anybody's requirement, any service. But he is given an opportunity to serve him. Hari Bol. So nicely written, Srila Prabhupada purport, so many lessons there. Yeah. Yes. Raju Prabhu, be ready next week. You want to read? You dropped your kids. Next, who wants to read? Haribol, come on. Today we will drop off at 9:15. We will go done with the today. I have to connect some work. Okay. Yeah.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Come on, read, Prabhu. Next, let me share one second. Text 29. Continue, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yes.
Great saintly persons who are always liberated, take to your devotional service, because only by devotional service can one be relieved from the illusions of material existence. Oh my Lord, there, కొంచెం scroll చేయండి. Oh my Lord, there is no reason for the liberated souls to take shelter at your lotus feet, except that such souls are constantly thinking of your feet. Purport. The karmis are generally engaged in fruity activities for material body comforts. The jnanis, however, are discussed with searching after material comforts. They understand that they have nothing to do with this material world being spiritual souls. After self-realization, the jnanis who are actually mature in in their knowledge must surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Self-realization is not complete unless one comes to the devotional platform. Therefore, it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that those who are Atmarama, self-satisfied, are freed from all contaminations of the material modes of nature. As long as one is affected by the modes of material nature, especially by Rajas and Tamas, he will be very greedy and lusty, and will therefore engage in hard tasks, laboring all day and night. Such false egoism carries one from one spaces of life into another perpetually, and there is no rest in any species of life. The Jnanis understands this fact and therefore ceases to work and to takes to karma sannyasa. Yet this is not actually the platform of satisfaction. After self-realization, the material wisdom of the Jnanis leads him to the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Then he is satisfied only in contemplating the lotus feet of the Lord constantly. Prithu Maharaja therefore concluded that liberated persons taking to the devotional path have acquired the ultimate goal of life. If liberation were the end in itself, there would be no question of a liberated persons taking to the devotional service. In other words, the transcendental bliss derived from self-realization, known as Atmananda, is very insignificant in the presence of the bliss derived from the devotional service of the lotus feet of the Lord. Prithu Maharaja therefore concluded that he would simply hear of the glories of the Lord constantly and thus engage his mind upon the lotus feet of the Lord. And that is the highest perfection of life.
Very well, thank you.
Correct.
Yeah. So that is what is the highest perfection of life? Chandramouli Babu?
We have to keep our mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. That's
ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పండి. అమరీష్ మహారాజ్ చెప్తారు కదా ఒక ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్.
లేదు ప్రభుజీ, అంత కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ చదవలేదు.
అంబరీష్ మహారాజు సవై మన కృష్ణ పదారవిందయో, రైట్? తెలుసు కదా? సేమ్ డివోటీ మూడ్ ఓన్లీ. Here Prithu Maharaj is a great devotee of Supreme Lord. Not only dear devotee, he is a great king also. Savai mana Krishna padaravindayo. Ambarish Maharaj says that. Mind engaging in Krishna's service and lotus feet of Krishna. Engage his mind upon the lotus feet of the Lord. Yeah, constantly, not on and off. Constant. Thank you, thank you. Next, who wants to read Haribol? Haribol. Kincham Prabhu ki jai. Continue Prabhu. 30th sloka. Okay.
Yes. I'll say something. My dear Lord, what you have said to your unalloyed devotee is certainly very much bewildering. The allurements you offer in the Vedas are certainly not suitable for the pure devotees. People in general bound by the sweet, by the sweet words of the Vedas, engage themselves again and again in the fruitive activities, enamored by the results of their actions. Purport: Sri Narottam Das Thakura, a great Acharya of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, he said that the persons who are very much attached to the fruitive activities of the Vedas, namely Karmakanda and Jnanakanda, are certainly doomed. In the Vedas, there are three categories of activities known as Karmakanda, fruitive activities, Jnanakanda, philosophical research, and Upasana Kanda, the worship of different demigods for receiving material benefits. Those who are engaged in Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda are doomed in the sense that everyone is doomed who is entrapped by the material body, whether it is a body of a demigod, a king, a lower animal, or whatever. The sufferings of the threefold miseries of the material nature are the same for all. Cultivation of knowledge to understand one's spiritual position is also to certain extent a waste of the time, because a living entity is an eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. His immediate business is to engage himself in the devotional service. Prithu Maharaja therefore says that the allurement of material benedictions is another trap to entangle one in the material world. He therefore frankly tells the Lord that the Lord's offering of benedictions in the form of material facilities are certainly causes of bewilderment. A pure devotee is not at all interested in bhukti or mukti. The Lord sometimes offers benedictions to the neophyte devotees who have not yet understood that material facilities will not make them happy. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Lord therefore says that a sincere devotee who is not very intelligent may ask for some material benefits from the Lord, but the Lord, being omniscient, does not generally give material rewards, but on the contrary, takes away whatever material facilities are being enjoyed by the devotee. so that ultimately the devotee will completely surrender unto him. In other words, the offering of benedictions in the form of material profit is never auspicious for the devotee. The statements of the Vedas, which offer elevation to heavenly planets in exchange to the great sacrifices, are simply bewildering. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 2.42, the Lord says, Yam imam pushpitam
Vacham.
vacham pravadanti avipaschita. The less intelligent class of men, avipaschita, attracted by the flowery language of Vedas, engage in the fruity activities to become materially benefited. Thus, they continue life after life in different bodily forms to search very, very hard.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhu.
Continue.
Yeah, Prabhupada nicely written. Huh? Bhukti Mukti, no. Devotees are not interested. Not Mukti also. Bhukti, only devotion. Bhakti. Devotee is not interested in Bhukti means materialistic life or sense gratification or whatever. Mukti also no. Only Bhakti. Hmm? Yeah. This is what about. Cultivation of knowledge is to understand one's spiritual position also to a certain extent. Because the living entity is an eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Simple to understand, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instruction. Jivera Swarupaya Krishna Nityadas. If you understand, that's it. Chaitanya Charitamrita Lord is that a sincere devotee who is not very avipaschita. Krishna used that avipaschita. Is not very intelligent, may ask some material benefit. So material benefit is bewildered, entangled. You get the material facilities, but what is the use for a spiritual advancement? No use, right? Material profit is never auspicious for the devotee. Prabhupada directly written, material profit is never auspicious for the devotee. Yeah, avipaschita, intelligent class of less intelligent class of men. They use the words, flowery language of the Vedas, engage in fruitive activities, become materially benefited, etc. That's where again, see, a tinge of material motive takes birth again and suffer or enjoy whatever. Enjoy also, that is not real enjoyment. In the material world, there is no real enjoyment. That's why we need to purify our desires, not to be in the material modes, not to be in the materialistic way of life. We need to completely purify our desires. We need to have spiritual desire, like I want to chant more rounds, I want to hear more. Is good. I want to spend more time in Krishna. Perfect. So opposite to this activity, in the materialistic activity, if you spend in that way, ఒకటే word use చేసిన ప్రభుపాద anything doomed. 3 times use చేసిన in this doomed. Karmakanda, Jnanakanda, everything is doomed. Doomed. Yeah. Next sloka, who wants to read? Haribol. Text 31. Haribol. Who is ready?
Hare
Please read.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Mataji. Okay, read Mataji. Okay. Yeah, read.
Translation, Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. My Lord, due to your illusionary energy, all living beings in this material world have forgotten their real constitutional position. And out of ignorance, they are always desirous of material happiness in the form of society, friendship, and love. Therefore, please do not ask me to take some material benefits from you. But as a father, not waiting for the son's demand, does everything for the benefit of the son. Please bestow upon me whatever you think best for me.
Hare Krishna. So this section is ending, okay? Prayers of Prithu Maharaj to Supreme Lord Vishnu or Krishna, okay? So now continue this purport, Mataji. Haribol.
Yeah, forward. It is the duty of the son to depend upon his father without asking anything from him. The good son has faith that the father knows best how to benefit him. Similarly, a pure devotee doesn't ask anything from the Lord for material benefit, nor does he ask anything for spiritual benefit. The pure devotee is fully surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord and the Lord takes charge of him, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Aham tvam swam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masucha. Yeah. The Father knows the necessities of the Son and supplies them. And the Supreme Lord knows the necessities of the living entities and supplies them sumptuously. Therefore, the Ishopanishad states that everything in this material world is complete. Purnamidam. The difficulty is that due to forgetfulness, the living entities create unnecessary demands and entangle themselves in material activities. The result is that there is no end to material activities, life after life. Before us, there are varieties of living entities, and everyone is entangled in transmigrations and activities. Our duty is simply to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead and let Him take charge, for He knows what is good for us. Prithu Maharaja therefore tells the Lord that as the Supreme Father, he may elect to bestow whatever he considers beneficial for Prithu Maharaja. That is the perfect portion of the living entity. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us in his Sikshashtakam. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundaram.
Nadanam.
Okay.
Nadanam.
Na janam, na sundarim. Kavitam va jag. పోయింది ప్రభుజీ మీరు
రెగ్యులర్ శిక్షాష్టకం ప్రేయర్ मध्ये నదనం న జనం న సుందరేం కవితాం వా జగదీశ కామయే మమ జన్మని జన్మనీశ్వరే భవతాద్ భక్తిరహైతుకి చేయండి ఒకటి మళ్ళొకసారి
నదనం న జనం న సుందరి కవితం వా జగద్ ఈశ కామయే మమ జన్మాని జన్మానీశ్వరే భవతాద్ భక్తిరహైతుకే త్వయి.
Perfect.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor have I any desire to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service in my life, birth after birth. The conclusion is that the pure devotee shouldn't aspire after any material benefit from devotional service, nor should he be enamored by fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. He should always be engaged favorably in the service of the Lord. That is the highest perfection of life.
అన్యాభిలాషితా శూన్యం జ్ఞాన కర్మాది అనామృతం అనుకూల్యైన కృష్ణానుశీలనం భక్తిరుత్తమ ఫేవరబుల్ డివోషనల్ సర్వీస్. నో అభిలాష ఆఫ్ మెటీరియల్ యాక్టివిటీస్, నో, ఓన్లీ అభిలాష ఆఫ్ స్పిరిచువల్ యాక్టివిటీస్. ఎంత ముందుగా రాస్తున్నాడు ప్రభుపాద. ఫ్రమ్ డివోషనల్ సర్వీస్ ద కంక్లూజన్ ఇస్ దట్ ప్యూర్ డివోటీ షుడ్ నాట్ ఆస్పైర్ ఆఫ్టర్ ఎనీ మెటీరియల్ బెనిఫిట్, should not aspire for any material benefit from devotional service, nor should he be enamored by fruitive activities, nor philosophy, only devotional service. అందుకే రూప గోస్వామి ఏం చెప్తున్నారు, అన్యాభిలాషిత శూన్యం, జీరో మెటీరియలిస్టిక్ యాక్టివిటీస్, జ్ఞాన కర్మాది అనావృతం, అనుకూల్యైన ఫేవరబుల్ డివోషనల్ సర్వీస్ టు కృష్ణానుశీలనం భక్తిరుత్తమ, perfect bhakti path. Okay, now this section talks about the Lord leaves after offering his benediction to Prithu Maharaja. 32 to 34, Lord blesses Prithu with bhakti and departs. Krishna is is bestowing bhakti. Prithu honors everyone and returns home. With this chapter ends. Let us finish quickly. 38. Chala. So 32, who wants to read? Hari bol. Maitreya Uvacha. Maitreya Uvacha అంటే కన్వర్సేషన్ గోయింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు Maitreya Muni and Vidura. So that's there. Okay, continue.
The great sage Maitreya continued by saying that the Lord, the seer of the universe, after hearing Prithu Maharaja's prayer, addressed the king. My dear king, may you always be blessed by engaging in my devotional service. Only by such purity of purpose as you yourself very intelligently express can one cross over the insurmountable illusory energy of Maya. Purport. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, wherein the Lord claims that the illusory energy is insurmountable. No one can transcend the illusory energy of Maya by fruitive activity, speculative philosophy of mystic yoga. The only means for transcending illusory energy is devotional service. As the Lord Himself states, Mam evaye prapadyante, mayam etam tarantite. Bhagavad Gita 7.14. If one wants to cross over the ocean of material existence, there is no alternative than to take to devotional service. A devotee, therefore, should not care for any material position, whether in heaven or in hell. A pure devotee should always engage in the service of the Lord, for that is his real occupation. Simply by sticking to that position, one can overcome the stringent laws of material nature. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you, Mother. Yes. Mami eve prapadyante mayamitam tarantite. What is that? Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Mami eve prapadyante mayamitam tarantite. Daivi esha, that is not correct. Daivi esha gunamai mama maya duratya. Mami eve prapadyante mayamitam tarantite. Daivi esha gunamai mama maya duratya. But mami eve prapadyante mayametam tarantite. That means when we surrender to Krishna, the divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome, but is using but. Who is for the but? Those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Surrendering through the process of bhakti yoga. Okay. Through the medium of spiritual master. Okay. Text 33. Anybody? Whoever not done, please continue. Let me see. Let me check who are there. Okay. Okay, let me read also. Let me read. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear king, O protector of the citizens, henceforward be very careful to execute my orders and not be misled by anything. Anyone who lives in that way, simply carrying out my orders faithfully, will always find good fortune all over the world. Purport. The sum and substance of religious life is to execute the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And one who does so is perfectly religious. In Bhagavad Gita 18.65, the Supreme Lord Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhakta. Just think of me always, and think of me always, and become my devotee. Furthermore, the Lord says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. Give up all kinds of material engagement and simply surrender unto me. This is the primary principle of religion. Anyone who directly executes such an order from the personality of God is actually a religious person. Others are described as pretenders, for there are many activities going on throughout the world in the name of religion which are not actually religious. For one who executes the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, there is only good fortune throughout the world. Immediately Prabhupada remembered 65 and 66, sloka of 18th chapter. Manmanabha mad bhakta and sarvadharman parityaja. Those are the instructions directly from Krishna. So here also Pruthumara is receiving benedictions and instructions. Supreme Lord Krishna. Vishnu, Krishna doesn't, not much difference. So this is the thing. So we continue do devotion service, product careful executing all these orders, not misled by anything. Anyone who lives in that way, simply carrying out my orders faithfully, will always find good fortune all over the world. So Prabhupada remembering those two words, two verses from Bhagavad Gita, and kept it in a ear. Purport. So nice. So fortunate. However, there is only good fortune throughout the world. When we practice Bhakti Yoga, when we understand Krishna, when we love Krishna, good fortune is always there. Yes. Ante. Text 34, only two more verses and we can done with this chapter. Oh, some more night. Okay. 34, who wants to do? 34.
ఎవరు లేకపోతే నేను చైనా ప్రభు
చేయండి నెక్స్ట్ అర్చించాను ప్రభు చేయండి.
The great Saint Maitreya told Vidura, the Supreme Personality of Godhead amply appreciated the meaningful prayers of Maharaja Prutu. Thus, after being properly worshipped by the king, the Lord blessed him and decided to depart. Purport. Most important in this verse are the words Pratinanandhyartavad Vacha, which indicate that the Lord appreciated the very meaningful prayers of the king. When a devotee prays to the Lord, it is not to ask for material benefits, but to ask the Lord for his favor. He prays that he may be engaged in the service of the Lord's lotus feet, birth after birth. Lord Chaitanya therefore uses the words Mama Janmani Janmani, which mean birth after birth, because a devotee is not even interested in stopping the repetition of birth. The Lord and the devotee appear in this material world, birth after birth, but such births are transcendental. In the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord informed Arjuna that both he and Arjuna had undergone many births previously, but the Lord remembered everything about them, whereas Arjuna had forgotten. The Lord and his confidential devotees appear many times to fulfill the Lord's mission. But since such births are transcendental, they are not accompanied by the miserable conditions of material birth, and they are therefore called Divya, transcendental. One must understand the transcendental birth of the Lord and the devotee. The purpose of the Lord's taking birth is to establish devotional service, which is the perfect system of religion. And the purpose of the birth of a devotee is to broadcast the same system of religion or the bhakti cult all over the world. Rita Maharaja was an incarnation of the power of the Lord to spread the bhakti cult, and the Lord blessed him to remain fixed in his position. Thus, when the king refused to accept any material benediction, the Lord appreciated that refusal very much. Another significant word in this verse is Achyuta, which means infallible. Although the Lord appears in this material world, he is never to be considered one of the conditioned souls who are all fallible. When the Lord appears, he remains in his spiritual position, uncontaminated by the modes of material nature. And therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord expresses the quality of his appearance as Atma Mayaya, performed by internal potency. The Lord, being infallible, is not forced by material nature to take birth in this material world. He appears in order to re-establish the perfect order of religious principles and to vanquish the demoniac influence in the human society.
Jai. Thank you, Mother.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
35, 36. Kincham Prabhu.
Yes, King Prutu worshipped the demigods, the great sages, the inhabitants of Pitraloka, the inhabitants of Gandharva Loka, and those of the Siddhaloka, Charanaloka, Panagaloka, Kinnaraloka, Apsaraloka, the earthly planets and the planets of the birds. He is also worshipped many other living entities who presented themselves in the sacrificial arena. With folded hands, he worshipped all these, as well as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the person and personal associates of the Lord, by offering sweet words and as much wealth as possible. After this function, they all went back to their respective abodes, following in the footsteps of Lord Vishnu. Purport. In the modern in modern so-called scientific society, the idea is very prevalent that there is no life on the other planets, but that only on the earth do living entities with intelligence and scientific knowledge exist. The Vedic literature, however, do not accept the foolish theory. The followers of the Vedic wisdom was fully aware of the various planets inhabited by the varieties of living entities such as demigods, the sages, the pitas, and the Gandharvas. The Gandharvas, the Panagas, the Kinnaras, the Charanas, the Siddhas, and the Apsaras. The Vedas gives information that in all the planets, not only within this material sky, but also in the spiritual sky, there are varieties of living entities. Although all these living entities are one spiritual nature, in quality the same as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They have varieties of bodies due to embodiment of the spirit soul by the eight material elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego. In the spiritual world, however, there is no such distinction between the body and the embodied. In the material world, descript, distinctive features and the distinctive features
Manifested.
are manifested in the different types of body in the various planets. We have full information from the Vedic literature that in each and every planet, both the material and spiritual, there are living entities of varied intelligence. The Earth is one of the planet of the Bhuloka planetary system. There are 6 planetary systems above Bhuloka and 7 planetary systems below it. Therefore, the entire universe is known as Chaturdasa Bhuvana, indicating that it has 14 different planetary systems. Beyond the planetary systems in the material sky, there is another sky which is known as Parvayoma. Or
Paravyom.
this
Paravyom.
Paravyoma are the spiritual sky where the spiritual planets. There are spiritual planets. The inhabitants of those planets engage in varieties of loving service unto Supreme Personality of Godhead, which include different rasas or relationships known as Dasya Rasa, Sakya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa, and all other Parikiya Rasas. These Parikiya Rasas are paramour love is prevalent in Krishna Loka, where Lord Krishna lives. This planet is also called Goloka Vrindavan, and although Lord Krishna lives there perpetually, he also expands himself into millions and trillions of the forms. In one of the such forms, he appears on the material planet in a particular place known as Vrindavan Dhama, where he displays his original pastimes of Goloka Vrindavan Dhama in the spiritual sky in order to attract the conditioned souls back home, back to body.
Wonderful purport. Haribol. So nice, so nice. So nicely explained, different planetary systems. Pitraloka, see how many types there, Pitraloka planets, Gandharva Loka, Siddhaloka, Charanaloka, Pannagaloka, Kinnaraloka, Apsaraloka, like that. And Prabhupada remembering all the 14 planetary systems. Different living entities is there, definitely. As per the Vedic literature, as per the Vedic knowledge, this is already every planetary system filled with so many living entities according to the nature of that particular planet. There is a bird's planet, huh? Right. Iranni remember Prabhupada so nicely. Yeah, yeah. So then above all 14 different metal planetary systems, unlimited, and then there is spiritual sky, Paravyomam, the spiritual sky, where there are spiritual planets engaging in varieties of loving service, A variety, primary varieties are like this, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, and above all, Parakiya, Vipralamba Bhava, Parakiya. Nicely mentioned. Okay, and two more verses and we're done with this chapter. Text 37. Let me read quickly. If anybody wants to read, not read. Let me read. Okay. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead, having captivated the minds of the king and the priests who are present, returned to his abode in the spiritual sky. Purport. Because the Supreme Personality of God is all spiritual, he can descend from the spiritual sky without changing his body, and thus he is known as Achyuta or infallible. Achyuta Govinda Prabhu, one devotee name, Achyuta, are infallible. When a living entity falls down to the material world, however, he has to accept a material body, and therefore, in this material embodiment, he cannot be called Achyuta because he falls down from his real engagement in the service of the Lord. The living entity gets a material body to suffer or to try to enjoy the miserable material conditions of life. Therefore, the falling living entity is Chuta. Chuta means falling. Whereas the Lord is called Achyuta. The Lord was attractive for everyone, not only the king, but also the priest order, who are very much addicted to the performance of Vedic rituals. Because the Lord is all attractive, he is called Krishna, or one who attracts everyone. Sarva Akarsheti iti Krishna. Krishna means Sarva Akarsheti iti Krishna. He attractive always, in all means. The Lord appeared in the sacrificial arena of Maharaja Prutu as a Kshirodakashai Vishnu, who is a planetary expansion of Lord Krishna. He is the second incarnation from Karanodakashai Vishnu, who is the origin of material creation and who expands Garbhodakashai Vishnu. Purusha Avataras, okay? Who then enters into each and every universe. Kshirodakashai Vishnu is one of the Purushas who control the material modes of nature. A very important statement. Kshirodakashai Vishnu is the controller of three modes of material nature. Three Purusha avatars. First, Karanodakashai Vishnu or Mahavishnu. Second one, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and third one is Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. So who is a controller of this material modes of nature? Haribol. Last sloka of this verse. So please read, anybody. Prasad Prabhu, you still there?
Yes,
Somebody.
no, bro. Hare Krishna.
Prasad Prabhu, please finish this chapter.
Okay, bro. Translation. King Prutu then offered his respectable obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Lord of all demigods. Although not an object of material vision, the Lord revealed himself to the sight of Maharaj Prutu. After offering obeisance to the Lord, the king returned to his home. Purport. The Supreme Lord is not visible to material eyes, but when the material senses are inclined to the transcendental loving service of the Lord and are thus purified, the Lord reveals himself to the vision of the devotee. Avyakta means unmanifested. Although the material world is creation of the Supreme Person of the Godhead, he is unmanifested to the material eyes. Maharaja Prutu, however, developed spiritual eyes by his pure devotional service. Here, therefore, the Lord is described as Sandarsitatma, for he reveals himself to, although he is not visible, he reveals himself to the vision of the devotee, although he is not visible to the ordinary eyes. Thus, end of the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the 4th canto, 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Lord Vishnu's Appearance in the Sacrificial Arena of Maharaja Prutu.
Prutu. Wonderful. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. One word, Sandarshitatma. So what is the meaning? Sandarshitatma means Sandarshita, revealed Atmane unto the Supreme Soul. He will reveal to the Lord revealed himself to the sight of Maharaja Prutu. So that because his senses purified, he can see the Supreme Lord, Supreme Lord is not visible. Adokshaja, right? Akshaja means senses, especially eyes. Akshaja, Adokshaja means beyond our sense perception. Lord is not visible with our material senses, but we can experience. When we become purified, we can see now. We can see face to face. But when the material senses are inclined to the transcendental loving service of the Lord and are thus purified, the Lord reveals him to the vision of the devotee. Ikkada చెప్తున్నారు మొత్తం point. We can see Krishna when our senses purified. He become manifested in front of the eyes of the devotee. That's gives spiritual eyes, developed spiritual eyes, where is pure devotional service. Sandarshitatma. Nice word, Sandarshitatma. 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 Very good. Okay, Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tomorrow we will continue 19 and 20 Subodhini guides. Then from Monday again 21st chapter will continue. So let us quickly chant Gajendra Moksham prayer. Tomorrow we will practice. I need to connect with the support guy, for job, office related work. So what is this? I want to know what is that. Bhaktivedanta slokas, right? So today we will introducing another Gajendra Moksham prayer, third one. So let me show you. This is the chapter. Gajendra Moksham prayers found in 8th canto, 3rd chapter. Okay. So Namo Namaste Akila Karana we have chanted. Madrik Prapanna Pashupasa. Tomorrow we will chant these 3 slokas together. Today 8:3:20. Let me chant. You can hear. Ekantino Yasyana. Okay. Yeah. 20. It's 21 is there, right? 20. Yeah, 20. It's like this. ఏకాంతినో యస్సన కంచనార్థం వాంఛంతి ఏ వై భగవత్ప్రపన్న అత్యద్భుతం తచ్చరితం సుమంగళం గాయంత ఆనంద సముద్రమగ్న తమక్షరం బ్రహ్మ పరం పరేషాం అవ్యక్తమాధ్యాత్మిక యోగగమ్యం అతీంద్రియం సూక్ష్మం యువాతి దూరం అనంతమాద్యం పరిపూర్ణమీడే. So what is the meaning of this sloka is Let me read one second. Unallied devotees who have no desire other than to serve the Lord, worship in full surrender, and always hear and chant about his activities, which are most wonderful and auspicious. Thus, they always merge in an ocean of transcendental bliss. Such devotees never ask the Lord for any benediction. I, however, am in danger. Thus, I pray to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is eternally existing, who is invisible, who is the Lord of all great personalities, such as Brahma, and who is available only by transcendental Bhakti Yoga. Being extremely subtle, he is beyond the reach of my senses and transcendental to all external realization. He is unlimited. He is the original cause. He is completely full in everything. I offer obeisances to him, unto him. Super verse. Huh? One more time I am chanting and then we can practice tomorrow. Huh? एकान्तिनो यस्य न कञ्चनार्थं वाञ्छन्ति ये वै भगवत्प्रपन्ना अत्यद्भुतं तश्चरितं सुमङ्गलं गायन्तमानन्दसमुद्रमग्ना तमक्षरं ब्रह्म परं परेशम् अव्यक्तमाध्यात्मिकयोगगम्यम् अतीन्द्रियं सूक्ष्ममिवातिदूरम् अनन्तमाद्यं परिपूर्णमीडे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, tomorrow we will connect. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Jagat
Jai.
Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai
Jai.
Gaur Hari Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari
Thank you
Hari
so much.
Bol. Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhu
Krishna.
Mother Dandal Pranams.
Hare Krishna.